Hey everyone, I'm Daniel Cohn, the editorial director here at Spin, and I'm here with Ben from Band of Horses. How you doing today?
I'm good. How you doing?
All right, all right. A beautiful Southern California afternoon.
It's perfect. Actually, it's the perfect temperature to play a show.
Is it like this in South Carolina right now?
We've had a cooler spring than usual.
All right.
Yeah, we're like cautiously optimistic to keep the oceans cooler instead of a sooner hurricane season than usual.
Oh,
you know,
right.
like we like when it's like a cooler spring. But no, it's nothing like this where it's like we played here the other night. It's the perfect temperature, like not a drop of sweat beads up.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So the topic here we were just talking about off camera was mental health, and as a touring artist, you have a unique perspective on how that affects a band. So if you just wanted to share with everyone out there some of the things that you've noticed or maybe you practice when you're on the road to kind of maintain yourself and stay in a good headspace before you get up on stage, that'd be great.
Well, you know, that's every day is a new challenge in that way too. Like I've been touring in bands and stuff as a living. I think even before Band of Horses, I was in a indie band van touring for no money since I was probably like 17. The thought of mental health being actually brought up and things like that, how to support one another, it just wasn't a thing back then too. So thank goodness we have evolved somewhat in this lifetime where I think people are more keen to recognize it in others, and I think it's important to look for triggering things in people, things that make people stressed out or anxious. A tight family unit like that we have on the road, whether it be, from top to bottom, whether it be the driver of the bus or even people at the venue, just look out for people that look to be maybe like needing a hello or just someone that cares. So of course with my tightest bros, we certainly can tell when someone's a little bit, just needing some extra attention, you know what I mean, or just needing a chat. I think that goes a long way compared to what it used to be like. Usually it's just like, go off in the corner, you go live in your like sadness shame hole or whatever because you're having like depression issues or you feel like you're taken away from the group in some way. You're like, this person's mad at me. It's like those kind of things on tour, you can feel like everyone's against you sometimes. So at least I think we're evolving into just looking out for one another better. At least that.
Do you wish that some of these mental health services, I know there's like music cares and places like that that are here, but when you were starting out, when you were 17, and how much would it have benefited to have just a hotline to just dial into if you were feeling something?
God, that's a really good question. Because it wasn't there, it's hard for me to like revise history like that.
Right.
But I also know that people are stubborn, and especially with mental health stuff, a lot of people don't want to be like ostracized in that way.
Right.
Like, I'm having a problem. Now it's become a bit more commonplace that we're allowed to talk about it. I can't say whether if I was having an issue back then, if I would have reached out to it, but as I've grown up, I've learned like what these organizations can do to benefit people and get people just healthy mentally or healthy physically also, because like addiction issues and stuff like that are prevalent in this industry. So the fact that Music Cares alone has been there for so many of my friends and even there for me when we've needed them is a huge help. Thank goodness for them.
Yeah, and when you're on the road with your crew and your bandmates, your family,
Yeah.
and you can know when someone is off.
Or you might not.
Really?
Yeah, or you might
You
not.
think they could hide it that well that you don't notice they like over 3 weeks someone's kind of went here then goes here?
I think there's still like a stigma attached sometimes. Like we haven't gotten all the way there yet where it's
Right.
like so acceptable that that people feel that free to open up sometimes. I think people still try to tamp it down a bit and pretend like they're okay. I know I have. I've done that plenty of times. I might be doing it right now.
But you don't think if you're on the road for 2 months that someone could notice, or I guess if you're all in your own world and trying to figure it all out, that it's hard, I guess, to...
Usually it takes a spiral.
Mm-hmm.
Usually takes like something that you really, really have to notice someone like, oh, okay, it's heating up over there.
Yeah.
It's time for a chat. You know what I mean? Even just to be like, yo, what do you need?
Exactly.
What's going on? Like, how can we help? What do you need? You know? And not in a judgmental way at all. It's just like, when that happens for me, like, I just go one-on-one. You know, don't make that person feel like they're being ganged up on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because when someone's in one of those kind of, you know, the whirlpools of depression or sadness or anxiety, I feel it's better to go one-on-one. But maybe it's just because I'm the leader of the band, and I don't want anybody else to I don't want anybody else to mess it up. I want to be there as a non-judgmental place of like showing them, or like listening first, and then helping to find a solution that's safe for them without them feeling exposed.
But that's great though that you notice that is a big that's an issue that needs to be. We're blocking the sun right now, thankfully. But that's really important that you notice that though. A lot of people don't, and it's a blind spot because people are just so wrapped up in their own shit that
For sure.
it's easy to lose track of this roadie over here. I don't know. They're having trouble at home, and it's affecting them. And
absolutely,
something like that. And
I've seen it quite a bit. And just try to help. I mean, I ain't naming names, but like one time I had like a guitar tech that was really having home problems, you know, and it was like, mostly like, this dude's just gonna like hang out on the bus after the show and kind of mope a bit. I was like, no. It's my job to get, like, we're going to play a game in the parking lot.
Right.
We're playing bocce ball, or we're playing
there you go.
cornhole, or whatever. I'm getting you off this bus, and you and me are going to play games until
great.
you're worn the fuck out. Yeah.
That's great. What advice would you give a rising band who are worried about social media follower accounts or like streams, like and how it's been taxing their mental health? What kind of words of wisdom can you give to them?
That's a tough one. Because I also have 4 daughters that are growing up within this day and age that was different from the one I grew up in. So I would I'm not sure that I would know what to offer, because I'm still a bit lost at sea with it myself. All I know is I'm getting my kids out the house. We're playing games in the yard, just much like that dude. Like, we're going out and playing games. I know that just being outside and getting exercise is it's of benefit to the psyche that I've seen. But as far as a young band coming up, I would say just, you always gotta put yourself in someone else's shoes. Maybe they were a butthole or something that night. Figure out why they were being a butthole. Ask them what they're up against before you start. A lot of people gang up. It is like Lord of the Flies on tour, right? So just make sure you have compassion for other people, and you can't go wrong with that.
Absolutely. How does watching sports affect your mental health on the road? Couldn't resist.
I would ask everyone else that's on the bus how it affects their mental health, because I'm so loud. Saturdays is loud.
Oh yeah.
College football season is loud. And then when we're touring during baseball season as well, so it's like not only do you have Saturdays, you know, from morning till whenever those games are done, you also have baseball season going on, and then it gets into playoff baseball season, and all of a sudden the back lounge is just, you have to hold on to something, you know what I mean? But as far as it affected my mental health, hell, it's been pretty good the last couple of years.
I was gonna say.
Braves won a championship, and my Georgia Bulldogs won too. So I think next year I'd worry more about, because you can't keep winning stuff, you know. So either way, I find it's a good distraction.
Yeah, that's what
I need an escape, honestly.
It's an escape from the escape.
Absolutely. I mean, with kids and stuff at home, people missing you, and just the logistics of things at home, the logistics of things on the road, logistics of things in the business itself, you know, just trying to juggle all these balls, right? Like, sports for me is like Oh, it's daddy's time to be
You
quiet.
just turn it off and you can get mad and
or be really loud, yeah.
yeah, cool. Well,
Yeah.
thanks Ben for dropping by. Anything else you want to say to the camera?
Oh man, I'm just glad to be here. It's such a pleasure to be here with y'all, and yeah, we're lucky to be still playing music after about 20 years now with Band of Horses.
Unbelievable, right?
I know, we're still here.